Since 2002, mid-March, the Gloucester Museum in England has been exhibiting a unique find in its glass case. These are ancient humanoid skulls, as you can see, they're obviously what we call Nephilim. And I was just reading to my grandson the other day, having to do with the giants of old and the time of David, where there were many giants of Goliath's people, and that was only 3,000 years ago. 6 fingers on each hand, 6 toes on each foot. Now this find is a peculiar skull that captivates the eyes of all visitors, causing both the admiration and fear of young and old. The exhibit has aroused both the interest of scientists and the expected scorn of others. This exhibit has a skull with a very strange dimension, very different proportions from humans, obviously. And as can be seen in the picture, the skull has large cranial cavity, much larger than the human cavities. The cranial bony sutures are nowhere to be seen. It has a weak but steeply sloping frontal eyebrow, no cheekbones, and its eye sockets are thickened downwards. The nasal bone is very similar to the human, but wider. The upper jaw is strongly inclined and no teeth are visible. The lower jaw is missing and no point of its connection to the upper jaw on either side of the sides of the skull is visible. The parietals, the sides of the cranium, show a movement towards the inside of the skull, and we do not see in this illustration, at least auditory exits on either side of the skull, no ears. The skull is also has a great peculiarity regarding the strength of the skull. Its strength is twice that of the normal human skull. The shocking discovery was made by archaeologists in the middle of the summer of 2003 in the bowels of a cave in Mexico. After the first investigations and after chemical analysis, they announced that the skull is attributed to a child of age of 15. Along with the skull, bones belonging to a 70-year-old man were also found. Of course, this caused many questions and disagreements among scientists. The curious thing is the following. The skull on display is not the real one, but a faithful copy of it. The real thing has long remained with great secrecy and terrible security measures in British laboratories. Why would a child's skull be persistently hidden and no details revealed about it? And why hide so long and conduct secret tests on a child's skull? Why are exam details and results not disclosed? Why such extensive investigations? The skull of the 15-year-old boy can even be seen in the photo. The skull, as we see it, is much larger than the skull of an old man. We can even compare its dimensions with the human proportions with the photo. And the museum and experts in an awareness campaign similar to the one in Roswell maintain and insist that the skull belongs to a child with a deformed skull. But many experts talk about an alien skull and demand that all research and test results be made public. However, according to experts, investigations are ongoing and the data has not been made public. Will they ever come out? The mysterious skull and its strange discovery. Another event took place in Bulgaria, northern Greece, the Rhodope area. In fact, a copy of the lost press of a lot of press from Bulgaria and in Greece. Of course, it passed into small news. In Bulgaria, the media reported that the event may not have happened there by chance, but perhaps some intellectuals wanted the specific event to unfold there. In particular, the front pages of the Bulgarian newspaper were filled with the strange news of the discovery of a strange skull, alien according to some researchers. The find in the first days after this discovery was in the Museum of Paleontology in the city of Azanovgrad, a famous cultural and scientific center. But what causes great interest besides the find is also the way it was found by a Bulgarian. In April 2001, a 38-year-old Bulgarian had a strange dream. He saw 5 white-robed humanoid spiritual entities visit him and point out a specific spot where he would make an earth-shattering discovery. The men were very tall, with short white hair, and wore white metal armor. The 38-year-old Bulgarian, who stubbornly kept his anonymity, declares himself an atheist. Thus, he had learned to interpret such events based on materialistic notions, and so he did not pay any attention to the dream he saw. However, the dream repeated with the same intensity. The Bulgarian was impressed but continued to ignore it. It took 3 more visits in a dream to bend the materialistic interpretation and approach of this strange event. He was finally convinced to look for this item, but we must emphasize that in the 5th and last visit of the creatures, they revealed that with this discovery and its publication, the cycle of time will be closed, quote unquote. The cycle of time will be closed when the recipient of the messages from these white-dressed men, then he decided to look where he had been told. He realized that he had no clear idea of the location and point to look for, nor the wider area where this object was located. But he embarked on this research with his wife and 2 more friends who had shown interest, following his instinct and hope for a transcendental guidance. This guidance did exist, and they ended up by car in an area of the Bulgarian area of Rhodope, near Philippopolis, which made him feel that he had a direct connection with his dreams. Turning suddenly to his wife, he says, "This is exactly where we have to look." And indeed, on May 21st, 2001, the Bulgarian man discovered on an adjacent hill a find that has and will continue to preoccupy scientists and may overturn many facts and situations in many areas of human civilization. And there on the hill was the strangest skull that man had ever seen. And this is where this skull was found. So I wonder if they'll find any more items there. Obviously, this is the skull of a Nephilim. And he was given some kind of a vision, in his dreams of where to look for this weird skull. Isn't that amazing? This is the area in Bulgaria, which is of course bordered with Greece. This is the area of northern Greece, an area called Rhodope. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.